which is Loaves. Miss Martha Mitcham had a small bakery. She was neither very rich nor very poor. She had $2,000 in the bank. Miss Martha was 40 years old. She had a kind heart, and only two of her teeth were false. Although she was still unmarried, she hoped to get married sometime. 2 or 3 times a week, a customer came in to buy some bread. He was a middle-aged man with a beard, and he wore glasses. Soon, Miss Martha began to take an interest in him. He spoke English with a strong German accent. His clothes were old but clean, and he had good manners. He always bought 2 loaves of stale bread. Fresh bread was 5 cents a loaf. Stale bread was 2 loaves for 5 cents. The customer never bought fresh bread. Once, Miss Martha saw red and brown stains on his hands. She was sure then that he was an artist and very poor. She was sure he lived in a cold room where he painted his pictures. He ate stale bread and thought of good things that were sold in Miss Martha's bakery. When she sat down to dinner or had tea and jam, she used to think of a poor artist with good manners and feel sorry for him. She wanted to share all the good things she had with the well-mannered man. I told you already that Miss Martha had a kind heart. One day, she brought from her room a picture that she had bought many years before. With his help, she hoped to find out whether the man was really an artist. It was a Venetian scene. There was a beautiful palace in the picture, gondolas, young ladies, the moon and the stars. She hung the picture on the wall of the bakery so that the artist could notice it. 2 days passed. The customer came in for bread. 2 loaves of stale bread, please. You have here a fine picture, madam, he said, taking the bread from her. Miss Martha was very happy to hear these words. Do you think it is a good picture? She said. Well, he said, the palace is not so good. The perspective is not true. Good morning, madam. He took his bread and left. Yes, he must be an artist. Miss Martha was sure of it now. She took the picture back to her room. How kindly his eyes shone behind his glasses. How clever he was. He saw the perspective at once. And he has to eat stale bread only. But artists often have to struggle before they become famous. How she wanted to be of some help to him. She wanted to keep house for him, to share with him all the good things she had in her bakery. She was even ready to share her $2,000 with him. Time went on. Sometimes he talked to her for a few minutes. He bought only stale bread as before. He never bought a cake or a loaf of fresh bread. She thought he began to look thinner. It was clear to her he did not eat enough, he was starving. How she wished to add something good to the stale bread he ate. But she knew poor artists were proud, and she was afraid to make him angry. Miss Martha began to wear her new dress in the bakery. She also bought some cold cream in order to make her face a little more beautiful. One day, the customer came in as usual and asked for stale loaves. While Miss Martha was getting them from the shelf, the siren of a fire engine was heard. The customer ran to the door to look. Suddenly, a bright idea came to Miss Martha.